AAA Race Show. I'm your host, Austin Aziz Woman Farrar, coming to you from the Stag Studio with my co-host over here, Jimmy, and we're back for another episode of the AAA Race Show. Gonna be a great episode today, folks. We have so much to talk about. All three NASCAR series back in COTA this past weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we saw some crazy finishes, overtime, and interesting burnouts. So let's get into it. We're actually going to be starting off our show with Dylan the intern, who is out in Texas at the racetrack in COTA. So, Dylan, how you doing?
Hey, Austin. I'm here at the rodeo in Texas, and I got my soda.
Dylan, I told you to go to a Texas racetrack called COTA, not a Texas radio, and get a can of soda.
I didn't think we reported about rodeos on the AAA Race Show.
No, Dylan, we don't report on radios, but just get your scooter and come back to the Stag Studio.
Okay, Austin, and thanks for getting my scooter. Yeah!
Well, folks, at least he went to the right state this time. We're making progress. I have faith for Dylan the intern. I do have faith. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the Truck Series race was this past weekend, Saturday morning. Great race. We see Ross Chastain sets a track record in qualifying the day before, so it looked like it was going to be a good day for Ross. But near the closing stages of the race, Ross Chastain has a fuel pump issue, and that takes him out of the running for the win, and that leaves Kyle Busch in the lead with a big lead over Zane Smith, but he elects to stay out a couple more laps. That really bit him because there was a caution, and he has to come to pit lane, loses 16 spots, and puts Zane Smith in the lead, running away, gets a 6-second lead. But that's not going to stop Kyle Busch that easy. Kyle Busch comes storming back through the field, passing 13 cars in 2 laps, and then getting by Ben Rhodes for second. But he didn't have enough to get by Zane Smith and close that lead. Zane Smith gets his second win of the season. Congratulations to Zane Smith. And he burns it down in front of his team. And it almost looked like a... Dang, that's a doozy. Dang, That's a Doozy is brought to you by D&D Welly and Fabrication out of Buffalo, Missouri. If it's made out of metal or you need it made out of metal, D&D Welly and Fabrication are the guys to go to. D&D at 417-267-2224 can take care of all your metal working needs. Now this week's Dang, That's a Doozy comes whenever Zane Smith's burning it down in front of his team, having a great celebration, and then during the interview, the white smoke of the burnout turns to black whenever the mud flaps catch on fire. They get this fire put out, but Zane Smith says that this is the first time he's experienced that. Pretty crazy event happened there. So much so, we're actually going to be having people call in on this event today. We haven't had this in a while. But Dylan actually says there's a caller, so send him through, Dylan. Hello, Patrick. This is Austin, and you're on the AAA Race Show.
Hey, I know you! You're that guy!
Yep, I'm Austin. Patrick, what did you have to say about Zane Smith's mud flaps catching on fire after the burnout after the Truck Series race?
I can't hear you! It's too dark in here!
Dylan, could you adjust the sound? Patrick can't hear us very well. Is that better for you, Patrick?
That's much better.
Good. So like I was saying, what did you think about Zane Smith, his mud flaps catching on fire during the burnout?
Oh yeah, I forget.
That's okay, Patrick. Regather your thoughts. Like I was saying, what did you think about Zane Smith?
I've been thinking.
Okay. What you thinking about Zane Smith? Is mud flaps catching on fire after the Truck Series race? Okay, Patrick, I think that's going to end the call for us. Thanks for being on the AAA Race Show today. You can go ahead and end the call, Dylan. Thanks. Well, folks, Patrick is an interesting character. We have some interesting characters on the show every week, though, so nothing out of the ordinary here for the AAA Race Show. let's go ahead and move on to talking about the Xfinity Series race, which was also on Saturday, but Saturday night, another double header. And this is an AJ Allmendinger, great road course racer, gets his 11th win in the Xfinity Series on a road course. The road course ringer, the dinger, just cannot be beat on these road courses, so congratulations to AJ Allmendinger. Now, let's get on over to the NASCAR Cup Series, where Tyler Reddick and William Byron get the front row. Looked like Tyler Reddick had a super fast car, and he showed it early. So did William Byron. They were swapping the lead, and that's actually where we're going to be. Taking out the trash for this week's Trash Move of the Race. Brought to you by Ozark Mountain Sanitation at 417-207-0883. Ozark Mountain Sanitation, the best trash service in the nation. Now, this week's Trash Move of the Race comes whenever Bubba Wallace goes a little too hard into the corner, gets loose, and just clips Kyle Larson right in the left rear corner panel, and so much so that it ruins Bubba Wallace's day and gives Kyle Larson some big damage. Kyle Larson is trying to make it back around, but it doesn't stop there for him. Kyle Larson trying to get around Denny Hamlin to go to pit lane, gets clipped again in the left rear and brings out the caution. Kind of rough patch there for old Kyle Larson. But we get back green and we go through a big green flag stint here. And just whenever everyone's getting close on fuel towards the end of the race, guys, we're trying to save. At one point, we were trying to save 7 laps of fuel. But it was a crazy time until the caution comes out. And that resets everyone. But there were 5 drivers who had already pitted because they knew they couldn't make it on fuel. They were going to go to the pits and go as hard as they can, try to make up as many positions, including Kyle Busch and Kimi Räikkönen, another one of those road course ringers coming in just to run the road course race. And that's whenever things get interesting, because these 5 guys who have some pretty fresh tires and tons of fuel get to the front of the field, and now Tyler Reddick and William Byron have to get around them. But Tyler Reddick's car is so good that it's not even a competition, because Tyler Reddick passes all of them in turn 1. Well, they said it in the booth, and cautions do breed cautions. That caution there, that reset all of our fuel, well, we go into 3 overtimes. Tyler Reddick reading them all, everyone taking the shot at Tyler, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman. But it just wasn't enough to get by that old Toyota 45 car as he comes around, taking the white flag. Enough debris was not on the track to where he could finish out the lap. And actually goes into the dirt coming off the last corner. But he comes across that line. First win of the season for Toyota and the first win for Tyler Reddick at 23:11. So congratulations to Tyler Reddick. It was a great race out in COTA and the first win of the year for Toyota, like I said. And I said it last week that the Toyotas have kind of been sleeping this year, and they really showed their speed this week. Well, let's go ahead and move on over to On the Menu. Now, On the Menu, brought to you by Big Easy Grill, the finest Cajun cuisine. Located on East Sunshine, 417-832-0040. Great food, great experience. Make sure you tell them that Austin Aziz from the AAA Race Show sent you out there to get whatever you're craving that day. So much great food to get at Big Easy. My favorite restaurant to go in Springfield and pretty much the whole world. Well, let's go ahead and move on and see what's coming up this week. We're going to start out with Cup and Xfinity, which will be at Richmond Raceway this next week. Xfinity on Saturday and Cup on Sunday. The Xfinity race will be at 12 p.m. and Cup will be at 3:30 p.m. You can catch those both on FS1 this week. Now, the Springfield Raceway will be having their opening night Saturday, and Lucas Oil Speedway will be having the MLRA. We talked about this and get excited a couple weeks ago. Going to be a great show up in Lucas Oil. And Monette Raceway will be having the Reaper, and Twister Alley might be having a test and tune or a race. The news is coming out the day that we're shooting this, so who knows if it'll be out by the time YouTube decides that they want to put out our show. Sometimes it takes a couple days. But, who knows? They said that they may have their test and tune Sunday afternoon if they can't get the track ready by Saturday because of all the rain that's been happening and what the weather that's supposed to be this week. So we'll have to wait and see on the Twister Alley test and tune. Well, let's go ahead and move on over to Get Excited. Just going to transition right over there. Now, Get Excited, brought to you by Top Limb Tree Service. If you need a trim, call up Top Limb at 417-880-7867. Toby, Cheryl, and the crew will come out to your house, take care of all your tree trimming needs. And it's springtime. Things are greening up. The trees are greening up. And you want to get that yard looking nice. Well, no better way to get all of your tree trimmed. All the storms and rain. Don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about the hassle. Call out Toby, Cheryl, and his crew, and they'll get it all picked up for you. Top Limb Tree Service, the best tree service that you can get. We'll be talking about the Bristol Dirt Race again this week. Now, the Bristol Dirt Race, I'm really excited for it this year. I think that they've made some good improvements on the cars, and I think that they're going to be better. They said that like I said, they're adding mud flaps, and they're going to be making these cars more suit for dirt racing than they are for asphalt, instead of just bringing them right over. And as always, make sure you head on over to ORP TV, because Mr. Crax Dagner will tell you all you need to know about all the local races coming up next week, results, birthdays, and a weather forecast. ORP TV has it all. Make sure you check them out on Wednesdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Great racing show to watch. And to finish out our show, I didn't talk about this during the NASCAR because I kind of wanted to do it separate today. But Daniel Suarez gets mad in one of those overtime finishes where he thinks Alex Bowman hit him. Of course, the driver's view is very limited and he has no clue what's happening. But in his mind, he didn't win and he thinks Alex Bowman's the reason of it. So he catches up. Here's some video. He's passing everyone in the field as we're slowing down here, trying to catch back up to Alex Bowman. And right as they get onto pit lane, he hits Alex Bowman a couple times. I don't like this move because we're already on pit lane. And if it's on the track, it would have been one thing. But there are people walking around here, and that's just not a safe move. But I'm sure Daniel Suarez and Alex Bowman will work it out. And maybe a rivalry will develop from it. Who knows what could happen? Anyways, I think that about does it for us this week, folks. Thank you for checking out the AAA Race Show this week, and thank you for all your support. Please make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'm Austin Aziz. Will Fryer, come to you from the Stag Studio with my co-host here, Jimmy, and Dylan the intern. And remember, folks, this show is brought to you by whatever Mom's making for dinner. And have a great rest of your week.
If I gotta drive over the fool in front of me, man, to win, that's just racing.